Hey everybody, Sam here and welcome back to Green Acre Homestead. I'm back out here in the greenhouse today and I want to do a little bit more work and bring you guys along with me. We've had a good solid 3 days worth of rain out here and I wanted to take this as an opportunity to show you guys how the greenhouse roof is holding up so far as being waterproof or not. There were a couple of questions on the last video that we put up about doing the roof as far as why we did the screws through the roof, or is that going to make it leak, and that was kind of different. So I kind of wanted to point out and let you guys see how things are going so far, given this is subject to change, and as always I reserve the right to be wrong about anything and everything I ever say. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how it's doing after 3 days of pretty constant rain. So looking at everything, I don't see any moisture or condensation, rainwater, or evidence of such on the inside of this plastic. Right here at the walls, if I rub my hands on this, you'll be able to see, I'll get a different shot. It looks wet, but all that moisture is on the outside. Nothing along the sides of the edges, and this would also be anything from the roof would come down and roll down on this side. Everything totally dry, and that's good. Looking down here at the floor, there's also clear evidence that the center of the greenhouse dirt is dry, is completely bone dry, and actually kind of cracked in places, which shows you no moisture has made it into the middle part. There is moisture around the edges because I have yet to close in the sides of the greenhouse, as you can very well see. But as far as the center, it all looks good. Now I really say all of this and show this to you guys mainly because, one, I was genuinely curious. I wanted to see how the plastic would hold up. Did it leak? Did it not leak? And then two, to show you guys as well, while this might be watertight right now, I don't expect it to be that way forever. Things will degrade, things will change, things will happen over time, and that's just something we gotta stay on top of and give proper maintenance to, and that's just the way things are. No system is 100% foolproof. I want to go ahead and start jumping into today's work, and that's going to be focused down here on the ground as far as creating a finished surface of this greenhouse floor. So what I just did was to take one of the barrels that I've got and just roughly line it up against the wall and make some marks on the ground to give me an idea of how many barrels I can line against this wall. The barrels are going to serve two purposes for me. Well, probably three purposes. I can't do that very well. Three, much easier. First purpose is going to be as thermal mass. They're going to be full of water and they'll help regulate. They'll help regulate the temperatures here in the greenhouse. Second purpose is going to be for rainwater collection. I'm going to put gutters on the greenhouse and pipe them into these barrels and let them fill with a manifold so that I can reuse the rainwater, have it as an in-greenhouse source, and use it that way. Purpose number three will most likely be that that will become the surface or the top of a workbench or planting bench for me to use in here as well. So, one object, three purposes, win-win-win. What I'm going to do next to prepare the floor of the greenhouse, which is also known as the earth, is use the electric tiller, shovel, hoe, and any other kind of implements I can find to start terracing out the ground for the barrels to sit, or the foundation of the barrels, which are concrete blocks, to sit on and create me a level surface for them to sit on. So, let's get to work. That's what Angela would say. If she was here, she would say, let's go. So, in the words of Angela,
let's go.
Well, after doing all that work, I've changed my mind, and it's better to change my mind now than later. I was originally going to put all the barrels here against the long wall, but it's going to be a lot of work to terrace and level this whole thing. So instead, I'm going to put the barrels against this end wall back here, the 12-foot wall. The ground slopes more uniformly this way, so it's going to be less work to terrace. And I think 12 foot of workbench, table space, thermal mass is probably good enough to start with. At least for rainwater collection, that will be close to 300 gallons worth of rainwater collection, storage, and everything, which is a lot because we get rain often here. We're not in a desert climate, so I'm not worried about having to have so much storage on hand for it not to be replenished by the sky. Okay, all that being said, let's change gears. Let me get the seedlings out of the way and start tilling up this entire top end of the greenhouse so that it can be uniform left to right, and then we'll go from there. That's what we'll do. I've got everything smoothed out pretty well left to right, and I went ahead and kind of stamped the barrels across to see how far out from the wall they're going to come. Next thing I want to do is probably going to seem a little bit counterproductive, but I want to till back all this fresh loose dirt off and get back down to the original soil so that I can start digging down a little bit and setting my concrete blocks, which will be the foundation of what these barrels will rest on. I'm going to use a lot of these blocks that we have around our garden and start to build up and put probably 4 pillars or stacks of block all the way across the 12-foot section to give me a level plane, to then put some wood, timbers, 4x4s, something on top for the barrels to then rest on top of. This will be a lot easier than sitting them right on the ground and trying to get the ground perfectly level, and it'll also be nice to have them up off the ground so that I have room for all the plumbing connections and manifolds that will connect the barrels together as well. Woo, sun's coming out. I'll put my shades on. Alright, so all of my 4 little miniature graves have been dug out thanks to the tiller. Now what I'm going to do is grab some block and my level and start putting them into place and doing a lot of the annoying finessing work of leveling the, we'll call them footers, for the blocks so they sit plumb and level and true, and I can go up from there if need be. And that's just the base foundation for this whole thing. It's hot in here. Yes, I know it's hot in here. Trust me. I'm out here working all the time. Shouldn't say that. All the blocks are in place. They are all leveled and spaced correctly, and all the really annoying hard work is done. By the way, someone else has joined us out here in the garden. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. So with all of the prep work and groundworks done and the blocks put in place, I've now called in some favors with the local construction crew and excavators to go ahead and backfill all this stuff for me. They're rolling in with their equipment right now. Might be a little noisy, but they're climbing in here and they're going to backfill this stuff for me so I can sit back and relax while they do the hard work.
Do the other side.
Well, that looks pretty good. Now let's continue on down the line through the greenhouse with the tiller, smoothing out everything and raking it to a, as even as I can get, grade. Like smooth grade. A grade, number 1 grade. A number 1 plus, good customer. So you might be wondering why I went through all that trouble of trying to level and slope and prettify the greenhouse. I'm not that OCD. There is a purpose, and this purpose originates with you.
So once we had our, I guess the bottom walls kind of walled in, I was trying to think of what we could do for the floor in here. And so I got to thinking about commercial greenhouses that I'd been to, and you realize that when you walk in, it's really nice. It's not muddy and there's not weeds growing everywhere.
Yeah.
At least the ones we've been to.
Yeah, all the green is where it's supposed to be, up on the tables or in flats.
Yes. So I realized that they have this really nice fabric that you put down.
So guess what we're going to put down?
It's an ag fabric. So it's the same thing we're going to be using in the garden. So we're just put more of it down.
Yep. We are not new to ag fabric. We have used it for gardening for several years. We're just first time doing a greenhouse, so the first time putting it down inside here. But yeah, we've used it a lot for gardening. It's really good stuff. You should check into it. Or just watch, and we'll use it for this garden bed you see behind us. We'll lay it down out there this year.
I was going to stand on it and let you roll it down. Ready?
Yep.
Epic fail!
That was uneventful.
Let's not let the celery.
So earlier I was telling people that you were inside and, you know, totally giving you credit. You were actually working as well. You're making soap.
I was.
I could smell her all the way up here, but not in the same sense that you could smell me with the greenhouse roof. This was nice.
That's good.
Like soapy nice. So what were you down there?
He did say, when I came up, he said, I smelt men's cologne. What was that?
I don't know what that was.
That would be the man soap. I did make some more man soap today. And some lavender rosemary goat's milk. And some new, what was it?
Soap?
No, it's a different...
Wasn't soap?
New wild rose. That's what it's called.
You're like, just hush. Quit derailing me.
That's what being married for 15 years does. It's just kind of like I just keep talking. So yes, I did man soap, lavender rosemary, goat's milk, and wild rose, which is a new rose scent that it's really nice.
It's wild. So when will those be available?
It'll be about 3 weeks.
For the new stuff? Mm-hmm. But you've got other stuff you just put on the website too, right?
Oh goodness, you couldn't ask me what, but yes.
What? See? I can't.
I know. I know we did
cashmere.
some cashmere.
All right,
yes.
Southern peach.
Southern peach, black amber lavender.
Isaac, he's not in there. That's fertilizer. Get out of that. Isaac's looking for brother hide and seek, I guess.
Just check it out if you're interested. You can ask if there's something that's out of stock that you want to see when it's going to be in stock. I'm really trying in between garden time and work time and everything else to make some soap. So
yeah, it's kind of getting a little bit overwhelming for you. So we're looking to see if we can scale back day job.
Yes.
Which we'll see. We're trying to work that out. So, and that would allow you to have an extra day here to do your soap business and to do whatever else as things just pile up.
Yes.
All right. Well, they are duking it out in the kitchen. I can see the boys fighting with something with the trash can. So I guess we're going to call it done for the video.
Well, thanks guys for coming along, and stay tuned as we finish the greenhouse and get some stuff planted.
I'm trying to think of what I want to say. What do I want to say?
See you guys next time. Bye.
Okay. See you guys. What?
Nothing.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.